Hey, what's up guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Marvel Legends action figure review on the 2025 X-Men Nemesis Build-A-Figure Waves Ultimate Wolverine! Oh god, I'm so embarrassed. I don't know why for the longest time I thought this was an Ultimate Wolverine suit. I never read X-Treme X-Men. I want to give it a read though. We'll talk about the comics more later. Which is not my favorite version of Wolverine. I gotta be honest with you. Now, I am happy that Hasbro is updating this. If you don't remember how their other version looked from back in 2009, I think. Oh my god, I think that was the Blob Build-A-Figure Wave figure. And jeez, that was terrible. But this is looking way better. I'm excited to open it. It's got a bunch of interchangeable hands and no Build-A-Figure. So it's the only one that doesn't have the Build-A-Figure piece. Anyway, you can see on the side you get Wolverine over here. You get this other image of Wolverine on that side over there. And then on the back you get a third image of Wolverine. And there's a read-up over here. If you want to read it, go ahead and pause it right now. And you can see all the other figures from the wave. We get a spot-varnished X logo on the top and not much more at the bottom. So let's get to it and crack this thing open. If you're trying to get your Marvel Legends, you can do so.
Big! Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
And here's the X-Treme Wolverine out of the packaging. And it's actually not a bad looking figure. I gotta be honest with you. It's just, again, not a version of Wolverine I'm terribly familiar with. So, you know, right off the bat, not something to be terribly thrilled about. However, we have some new stuff to look at over here, which does look pretty good. I do have my complaints, and we have a number of accessories to look at, so let's get a closer look at those, and then we'll get a closer look at the figure.
We only get 3 sets of hands over here. I wish we got an interchangeable head with a different expression, but no ruckus roll today. But you can see the paint on these hands does look pretty good. I feel like we saw these before, and we get a set, well, it's an uneven set of the pointing finger right there. I think it was with the Astonishing Wolverine, right? God, I know it wasn't that long ago when it came out, but already the memory's hazy, and the memories get hazier as I get older. But anyway, you can see right over here, these claws look great. I actually really do like these a lot. We've seen them before for sure, but yeah, just always good to see good claws on the figure. So I do remember X-Treme X-Men and that liquid coloring kind of looking cool, also kind of looking really bad at the same time. I don't know, a little bit weird back then, but this Wolverine is actually from the 2001 X-Treme X-Men title, written by Claremont, drawn by LaRocca, and I want to give it a read. It looks very interesting. I think it actually got a lot of good reviews. I'm not familiar with the books, but I'm going to check him out sooner than later. This head sculpt right here doesn't look too bad at all. I like the added paint. We've seen this before with the Wolverine from the Amazon 5-pack set, and then they used it again with this figure right here, but I couldn't find it. This is the Heat Claws Wolverine, by the way. I couldn't find the other version right there, so yeah, a little bit of a bummer. But yeah, this looks pretty good with the added 5 o'clock shadow. I mean, comparing those heads again, you can see they just added a lot more paint to it. The eyes look better on this one. I mean, it's come a long way. It's one face sculpt removed. Would have been nice if they added another head sculpt to this, especially because he has no Build-A-Figure piece, you know. But I already mentioned that, but still, it looks pretty nice. The hair sculpt hasn't changed or anything like that. Now, as far as the upper torso goes, there's not a lot of new to talk about at all, except for the added paint, which I don't think is actually too bad. To be honest with you, the fact that you could see that yellow, for the most part, it does disappear when you go that far with the butterfly joint. But the yellow seems to hold up. It's not getting all scuffed up on me when I move those butterfly joints around. Again, I've taken my photos already, so that's pretty good. You're going to get a little bit of gappage, of course, with that hinge right over there. Looking at the back of it, you can see how that spike is moving around. So, yeah, not a lot of paint over there. Nice hairy arms. I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, a little bit more realistic than most. And then you get this gold right here for the belt. And then I don't think we've seen these legs before. I don't recognize this at all, right? Unless I find a Wolverine figure that has it. So I'll take a look in a moment. But yeah, from the waist down, this actually does look all new to me. I can't remember off the top of my head if this should have been broken up, but having some paint on the buckles would have been nice to see. I have to mention that some blue highlights on the figure would have been really cool to see. Kind of like how I've been asking for the black suit Spider-Man. They even made this figure blue, and I guess there's artwork where the suit's blue, but I always thought it was blue highlights. Regardless, blue highlights over black would have been badass.
Some color right here would have been cool, or at least change up the plastic, you know, like glossy black right here for the boots. I like it when they do that. It's just
as bland can get with the paint. There's no variation at all, and you get peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So with a lot of reuse on this figure, the articulation scheme isn't unexpected, but I still really appreciate a damn good, well-articulated Wolverine figure. Look how far his head could look up. That's pretty damn cool, man. I like that a lot. And you can move the head down, turn side to side, and it wobbles a bit. That's really awesome. And again, you have these butterfly joints that work very nicely. You can move the shoulders up and above the 90-degree mark right there. You can move them all the way in. Get your full 360 rotation, bicep swivel, pinless double jointed elbows. All the hands turn side to side and hinge up and down. You have the U-joint ab crunch that bends very far forward without looking too weird on the back, man. I think that's pretty smooth looking. I like that. There's no weird bulbous popping out when I do that. Could bend backward more, but I like it bends forward a lot. You have to shift this belt up a little bit, which, by the way, it does have some buttons painted on it in silver. I didn't get a close enough look at that, so I was complaining about the lack of paint on these buckles. But yeah, those buttons are painted. That's cool. But yeah, he has a waist cut right there. And then you can move the legs out very far. He'll kick up at about 90 degrees, not quite, and then back a little bit, upper thigh cut. You get pinless double jointed knees right here. And then I also have to mention that, you know, with the black plastic, Hasbro has a habit of giving us really gummy black plastic, but we don't have that here with the knee joints, so that feels pretty nice. Unfortunately, there's no frickin' boot rotation on this thing. What the hell's up with that, Hasbro? You just got to cut it and mold it so you got a peg to plug into another port, right? Like, come on. That really bothers the hell out of me. It makes it harder to pose. It takes away the fun from it as I'm posing it around, for real. So, boot cut, that should just be standard. Anyway, ankles move down. They do move up a little bit, and he has beautiful ankle pivot. Now, for an X-Treme X-Men Wolverine comparison, you can see the original from Hasbro from back in 2009, I want to say, or 2008. And yes, this new one is way better, but I am noticing some details here. We have some straps around the gloves that we're not seeing over there. Some nice looking yellow paint down here to break things up that we're not seeing over there. I have to refresh my memory and look at the original artwork, so I can't remember if it's supposed to have that there or not, but yep, there's your image. And here's X-Treme Wolverine next to the Astonishing Wolverine figure where we got those hands from, and we have the Amazon 5-pack Wolverine where you can see the same upper torso and head is being reused over here. And this is the oldest out of the three figures and the only one with the boot swivel. Neither of these with the boot swivel. What the hell's with the boot swivel? And here's our X-Treme X-Men Wolverine next to not quite an X-Treme X-Men Cyclops, but it looks like it's the same suit that they had for Rogue in X-Treme X-Men, which I thought I had that figure, but I do not. So here's an image of that Rogue, which I didn't realize just till recently that that's where that's from. Just damn, I don't know how X-Treme X-Men I just totally missed it. But anyway, big thanks, Pat. Appreciate it, bro. And here's X-Treme X-Men Wolverine. Next to the only other two figures from this wave that I've already reviewed, we have X-Factor Cyclops and we have Husk, which I didn't realize. Thank you for the comments, you guys, that, yeah, her upper torso is different from M's. And here's Wolverine next to your average 6-inch scale figure. We have the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. There's nothing extreme about you, little guy. Maybe extreme arm hair, but that's about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did and this helped you in your purchase making decisions, well, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you're new here and you want to see more content on the way, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you feel like it, go ahead and hit that join button. That extra help is always appreciated. And this figure is still a figure. Yeah, I think it's actually pretty cool. Hasbro made it without a Build-A-Figure so that it could be one to easily pass on. And with it being a Wolverine figure, I'm sure there's still plenty of people that are going to want it regardless. But yeah, just for me personally, I don't have an emotional attachment to X-Treme X-Men, as I said a million times in this video already. As far as just the figure goes itself, it's not bad. It's frustrating not having the boot cuts. That really pisses me off. But there's still a lot to like about the figure. The posability looks good. The newly sculpted parts look good. The articulation works out pretty well, you know. As far as a head sculpt choice, wish they went with something new. I don't mind them reusing this one, but adding a new one, I think, you know, I feel like the figure earned it, especially with it not coming with a Build-A-Figure piece, right? So there's definite things that could have been done better, but not an awful figure, but definitely not a figure that I would get if not for reviewing, to be honest with you. So at the price point of around $25, I'm going to give this Extreme X-Men Wolverine a sud rating of pass! And I'd like to know what you guys think, so please let me know in the comments section below. If you want to see a photo gallery of images and the latest in Marvel news, you can find it all over at marvelousnews.com. And if you want to stay in touch with me on social media, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, and on whatnot. I'll catch you guys later. Peace!
That's crispy.
Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't.